Beep, 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 beep. Hello. I've got a Jester special for you. Hot off the press. Which we always enjoy. Well, I do. I don't know what you're doing, right? I found this yesterday. So I thought, oh, I'll get up tomorrow and we'll do the Jester special. You know, stick it up. So you can have a look. Because I like a bit of good news. And we need it, right? It's Christmas. Christmas. What's your favourite Christmas song? Stinky the Doomer is. Stupid question. Mine's a strange song that was #1 once. It's a German song that goes, it's most peculiar. Or something. That happened to end up for the student dude. Or something that happened to end up #1 once Christmas. And I love it. I always associate it with Christmas. But I can't remember what it is. That's me all over. Right, so, have some good news. Before you do, subscribe, share, become a Jesterite. You know, all the business. And come and be a warrior. Come on! We're starting in January. I'll start advertising again after Christmas. You'll see the things going up on Twitter. So register your interest and come and join us. Get involved. That's the way to go in the future, 2024. Give your brain a workout. So here we go. Jester special. Malpractice Insurance in the Americas. We're off to, oh, say, can you? Yeah, all that, right? Malpractice insurance prices from Time magazine are stopping small clinics from offering gender-affirming care to minors. Good. Good. After Iowa lawmakers passed a ban on a gender-affirming care for minors in March, managers of a LGBTQ plus health clinic located just across the state line in Moline, Illinois, decided to start offering that care. So, oh, right, they will do it there, we'll do it here. Not going to end well, is it? The added services would provide care to patients who live in largely rural eastern Iowa, including some of the hundreds previously treated at a University of Iowa clinic, saving them half-day drives to clinics in large cities like Chicago and Minneapolis. By June, the project of the Quad Cities, as the Illinois clinic is called, had hired a provider who specialises in transgender healthcare. A quack then, right? So Andy Rowe, the project's healthcare operations director, called the clinic's insurance broker to see about getting the new provider added to the non-profit's malpractice policy, as one would do, bearing in mind America doesn't have the same kind of socialised medicine as we do in the US, in the UK. So this is an interesting occurrence. Quote, "I didn't anticipate that it was going to be a big deal," Rowe said. Then the insurance carrier's quotes came. The first one specifically excluded gender-affirming care for minors. The next response was the same, and the one after that. By early November, more than a dozen malpractice insurers had declined to offer the clinics a policy. I'm happy about this. There's going to be people that go out there, oh, you cruel man. You won't let 13-year-olds get their bits mangled. You cruel man. You're a cruel man. Not a cruel man at all. I give a damn. Right? It's you that's an idiot. That's an idiot. So by November, they had a dozen that said, not including it. Rowe didn't know it at the time, but he wasn't alone in his frustrating quest. They make it sound like an Indiana Jones and the Hormones of Doom. That's what they make it sound like, an Indiana Jones thing. Indiana Jones and the Hunt for the Scalpel. States are erecting barriers to care. They're not. They're erecting barriers to harm. Okay? Jesus, these people. This is Time magazine. Nearly half the states have banned medication or surgical treatment for transgender youth. Good. Good. Good, let's keep going in that direction, shall we, America? Oh, say, can you see? Independent clinics and medical practices located in states where such care is either allowed or protected have moved to fill that void for patients commuting or relocating across state lines. But as the risk of litigation rises for clinics, obtaining malpractice insurance on the commercial marketplace has become a quiet barrier to offering care. Good. Okay? Even in states with legal protections for healthcare for trans people, in extreme cases, lawmakers have deployed malpractice insurance regulations against gender-affirming care in states where courts have slowed or blocked anti-trans legislation. So it's a pincer movement. We've got the law on one side, we've got the money on the other, And they're going, yeah, no, not happening. We're going to end this medical experiment and a crime against humanity, on children, you know, and whether you like it or not, we're going to end it. And it's happening, right? 5 months after starting his search for malpractice insurance, Rose said he received a quote for a policy that would allow the project to treat trans youth. That's when he realised finding a policy was only the first hurdle. He expected the coverage to cost $8,000 to $10,000 a year, but he was quoted $50,000. That's how you do it. You're more than welcome to have this. How much is it? 1.5 million. Rose said he hadn't experienced anything like it in his 20 years working in healthcare administration. What you've been wandering around with your eyes closed for the last 10, have you? Is that what it is? Or you just didn't want to look at the damage being done to children, which I anticipate is what it is. Insurance industry advocates argue that higher premiums are justified because the rise in legislation surrounding gender-affirming care for minors means clinics are at risk of being sued. You bet. If state laws increase the risk of civil liability for health professionals, premiums will be adjusted accordingly and appropriately to reflect the level of financial risk incurred by the insured. Of course it's going to. Of course it's going to. Mike Stinson, Vice President of Public Policy and Legal Affairs at the Medical Professional Liability Association, an insurance trade association, said in an email statement, if state laws make an activity illegal, then insurance will not cover it at all. It's not complicated, is it? Only a few states have passed laws preventing malpractice insurers from treating gender-affirming care differently than other care. Massachusetts was the first when lawmakers there passed legislation that says insurers could not increase rates for healthcare providers for offering services that are illegal in other states. So they're trying to get round it, yeah? That's unreal, isn't it? They're trying to get round it. Since then, 5 other states have passed laws requiring malpractice insurers to treat gender-affirming healthcare as they do any other legal protected health activity. Colorado, Vermont, New York, Oregon and California. Similar legislation is pending in Hawaii. This was a preventative measure and it was met with full acceptance by both the insured and the insurers, said Vermont State Senator Virginia Ginny Lyons, a Democrat who co-sponsored the state's law. She said lawmakers consulted with both physicians and malpractice insurance companies to make sure the language was accurate. Insurers just want to be able to clearly assess the risk, she said. Lyons said she hadn't heard of any providers in Vermont who had trouble with their malpractice insurance before the law was enacted, but she was concerned politics might get in the way of the doctor's ability to offer care. The mutilation of children, right? The social transition, which is that's the red. Once you press that red button, you've launched your nuclear missile, right? The social transition of children, which is essentially keys. Got your key ready? Key ready? Click, boom. That's once that social transition starts, the harm begins. Okay? It's got nothing to do with care. It's got to do with harm. Ooh, politics might get in the way. It's nothing to do with politics. In March 2022, the Texas Tribune reported that one Texas doctor had stopped offering care because his malpractice provider had stopped covering hormone therapy for minors. Yes, 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 let's see more of this, please. Lawmakers in some states have gone further and revised malpractice provisions to restrict access to gender-affirming care, often while bans on offering that care to trans youth are stalled in court. In 2021, Arkansas became the first state to ban gender-affirming care for trans children. There's no such thing as a trans child time, by the way. When that ban was held up in court this year, the governor signed a new law allowing anyone who received gender-affirming care as a minor to file a malpractice lawsuit up to 15 years after they turn 18. Boom! Ha ha! There we go. That's the sort of Star Wars type cover over the children, isn't it? As their nuclear bombs. Social transitioning. Boom-de boom-de boom. Bugger off. That's what it is. So what they're doing there essentially is they've extended the statute of limitations. Now, we know 9 to 10, 12 years, it's in that 9 to 12 years bracket where they go, hang on, I've done something terrible to myself. Actually, no, it wasn't me. It was them and those teachers and those people online. We know this story. We know this terrifying story already. It's brilliant news from an American point of view because it means that children are beginning to get protected from this cult, and that's what we all want to see. They then quote Alejandra Caraballo, right, who I believe is a transnutter. Alejandra Caraballo, is that right? She's a transnutter, isn't she? Or he's a transnutter, right? A civil rights attorney, should say a transnutter, said there's been a concerted effort on the part of anti-trans activists to utilise malpractice insurance as a means of eliminating care. Yes, because it's not care, because it's harm. Gender affirming harm. That's what it is, right? It's harm. It's not care. And it's harm from the minute you turn your 2 keys and push the social transition button. It's harm. But I will leave you with that pre-Christmas Jester special that I didn't expect to be doing, in which there is obviously real movement in protecting children across the USA. And that is a Christmas present I'm more than happy to open. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.